Welcome to day 5 of the Under-23 National Championships, coming to you live from West Beach, South Australia on beautiful Ghana land. It's game 39, it's the preliminary final between Queensland, last year's defending champions, and New South Wales, who have just come away with an 8-4 win over Victoria on the backfields to push them through to this game. Today with me on the mic, we've got the South Australian Open women's coach, who led them to a historic victory in the Gilly Shield, Bill Benedictson. Hello, sir.
Hey, Anthony, how are you? Nice to be here.
So we're going to have some expert analysis for you from the best. Lee Hull, Mr. Terrific's going to join us shortly. But right now, we're ready to get underway. It's going to be Emily Solomon kicking off the pitching for Queensland from the middle today. And
first batter's Alyssa Connell.
Thank you for that. Still waiting on some team sheets.
That's right.
An early down strike for Solomon, who came on late in the previous game with South Australia victorious, 8-0 over Queensland, going straight through. Great field by Solomon. Hard hit shot back at her. Yep. Easy as you like over to the first base road. Queensland get the lead off. Brings Trim to the plate.
Yep, Trim's the catcher. Nice little start for Queensland. Little tabber back to the pitcher and 1 out.
Yes, nothing better than an early leadoff out. Take that every day of the week. The impressive Sorbello behind the plate, doing a lot of work. Takes a low ground ball, well caught. In the zone, Solomon challenges. Trim gets after it and fouls it off down the centre right field side to level the count at 1-1. Low. Summers pitched the first game for Queensland, and unfortunately there was some walks early and some good hitting by SA, some good disciplined batting, and they loaded up and scored early. New South Wales looking to get an early jump here on Queensland. Up in the zone, Trim leans back, and the Winds picked it up at centre field and held it up, but a great catch has been taken out at centre field by Nicole Conacher, who had a good game in the previous one as well. Took some good catches.
Yeah, the wind's coming in from the east here today, and really blowing straight back in from left field. So it's going to hold a lot of balls up.
Yep, you can definitely see left field a bit shallower than normal. Solomon, traditionally a down ball pitcher, throws rockets for New South Wales.
Caitlin Wild batting now.
Yep, the first base.
Yep.
She goes bang over to the left side hole.
So
you can see,
a shift on there, yeah?
Yeah, so Bill just picked it up there. I'll let you talk us through the shift here on the Eastern replay.
Well, they brought second base all the way across past the bag, but the ball was a hard hop. Kind of came up a little on her and probably surprised her a bit. But second base was right there to pick it up where she normally wouldn't be, and had made a play on it. About half a step late.
Good enough to get on first. And over to shortstop once again, as Queensland have retired New South Wales with the first 4 batters going down. Great play there by the shortstop, Soraya Hamilton, who's had a good week as well defensively. We'll take this opportunity to quickly jump around the teams. We'll do the Blues first. It's Baby Blue, Damien McCauley at the plate. At first, it's Darren Clark. Second, it's Leanne Gearside. At third, it's the SA umpire-in-chief, Steve Wallace-Yarrow. The young ladies to our left scoring, we've got the legend that is Jill Williams and Mary Walkinshaw. So we're coming to you from West Beach, South Australia. It's been a big 5 days of future talent action here, Bill. So New South Wales, to be honest, this is the first time I've seen them live. I haven't had a chance. I've seen Queensland, but tell us a little bit about New South.
Well, I've been watching a few of the New South games, a couple out on Diamond too, and the pitcher, Abby Hart, tall girl, long lever, she's very good. But they're middle part of the order with Wild and Evans, pretty good hitters. They hit the ball. They don't cheat themselves on their swing, probably is the best way to put it. Defensively, I'll go around, but we've got Abby Hart pitching to Kiara Trim. At first base, we get Caitlin Wild. Second base is Emily Gordon. Third base, we have Brianna Evans. Shortstop is Amber Frost. And then left field, Olivia Moore. Center field is Alyssa Connell. And right field, Sienna Burgess. They are playing with a DP, which is Chelsea Bennett, this game.
That's the voice of Bill Benedictson, the South Australian Open Women's National Coach, defending South Australia's first title in 66 years in just a couple of weeks. We're going to have a quick chat about that in the future. Right now, it's second base player Kuriara who's come to the plate to lead off.
She's a solid contact hitter. She's up the middle, can lay the short game down. Very good batter. I believe she's of Open Women's team as well.
Yeah. Sister was in the team last year as well.
That's right.
So takes a high pitch for a ball. Takes a low pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. We're in the bottom of the first here in the Under-23 National Championship prelim final. Winner to face South Australia this afternoon for the title. Great catching. Drops down by Trim, gets her body right behind her. Kurihara, 3 balls. Would assume that the light here would be red for the batter from the coach. Doesn't matter, she's got to walk. Not the start that New South wanted, but Queensland, taking you back to last year, this same game, the semi-final last year, it was Queensland defeating New South Wales 6-4 to go through, and then New South Wales then tidied up SA in the prelim before the grand final, Queensland running out winners.
The shortstop now, Soraya Hampson.
Yep. Super fast, great defensive player. Switch hitter too. We saw her switch plates on sides of the plate last night, tricking the field. So
yeah, Queensland's got a mixture of speed and power that is very tough to defend. So
high in the zone, the New South Wales defense, first and third, right
very
down
close.
in her face. Blue just questioning down the line there to umpire first base Darren Clark. Did she go?
Good chance for a hit and run here, 2-0 count, but I think they're going to be a bit patient. See what Hart's throwing.
Well, yeah, I suppose you look at it, so the first 8 pitches that Hart's thrown, 7 of them have been balls. So at the moment, the signal book's away. Hart trying to get her radar tuned in here. Finally, she gets one over the plate, gets an edge. First strike, 3 balls on the batter, 1 strike, Kurihara at first, none out. In the dirt, but great catching by Trim. Stops the speedy Kurihara from picking up an extra base on the walk. So Queensland, unlike the first game, getting the perfect start here with runners at 1 and 2. It's none out, and the dangerous Brooke Stewart coming to the plate. Queensland got some power in their lineup. Road to follow.
Yeah.
If you're on Facebook or watching us on YouTube or any of the social media platforms that the Great Space Quake Sports are using, feel free to interact, cheer on your team, tell us where you're watching from, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like, and we'll get you involved in this broadcast. Mr. Terrific, Lee Hull has just arrived, obviously. Fritz and sandwich. Fritz and sauce sandwich has been done, cup of tea's been done.
Good to see you, Lee.
So the New South Wales coach coming out early just to have a bit of a chat.
Thank you.
So Hart has struggled in the early parts of this game. So myself, I'd be bunting as an old school coach with runners at 1 and 2 and none out. But when she's throwing 8 balls, inside strike for Hart. I'd also be tempted to just sort of let her bat. She's a quality hitter. Hart hasn't got her zone just yet. Needs to find it fast. Queensland runners at 1 and 2, none out. Great bunt down the third base line. New South Wales, they're going to let it roll out. That's a great piece of batting here on the Eastern replay just coming up. And Queensland have trying to sneak a quick run home there. Cheeky by Kurihara. Baby Blue McCauley not having any of that as he sends her back. But
really
damages.
The only chance was to let it roll, and you watch it come stop right on the line. That's a picture perfect bunt. There's no chance it's going foul now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we go. A repeat of what happened earlier in game 1 against SA. The bases are loaded, none out, and the dangerous road comes to the plate.
We've got a few dangerous roads in this state, haven't we?
Just have to say credit to the grounds crew there. That field is very level, and that ball rolled very true on that bunt instead of just falling off the diamond, which was good to see.
Yeah, the grounds crew have done a great job. Matt Williams, Rood, as bang, Road goes hard through the third base side, and looked.
I don't know why she's hurt there. She's gone.
I think
down.
she's gone. I think did she roll over, get caught on the base trying to field that ball?
Yeah.
Whatever, it looks like a knee. That didn't look great. We've got the Eastern replay about to come up here.
It's a hard hit ball right off the glove. It just kind of surprises her.
Yeah, Road hits a real hard ball. Great sportsmanship there by Road. You can see that she's run straight past her coach and run straight over to the New South Wales third base.
Yeah, she's stumbled just past the base there.
That's great sportsmanship by Road. What a champion. So Road scores an early RBI as Queensland did something that they were unable to do in 2 hours early this morning, and that's get on the board with an early run. Is she all right? She's going to continue.
Yeah, she's staying in, I believe.
Yeah, so here we just got in the Eastern replay. So Rhodes hit that ball hard. Kurihara scores. New South Wales, all sorts of trouble here early. Still none out, bases loaded. And now Mackenzie Pebbles comes to the plate. Sorry, Peebles, my apologies.
Peebles in the DP spot.
Yeah, been batting well.
I haven't had a chance to see as much of the Queensland batting team as I have of New South, so.
Well, they bat deep. Sorbello, the power hitter, comes in at 9. Yeah. We were talking about that yesterday. High in the zone. Peebles does a good job there of staying off that. That noise in the background you can hear is the Giants and the Heat starting up in the baseball as West Beach lights up down here on beautiful Ghana land. We're at the under-23 Nationals. It's in the first. Hart starting to get some traction on that inside low front edge.
Tall girl, isn't she? Tallest pitcher here, I would think, by plenty.
Yeah, I think she's going to help herself out if she can start locating those first couple of pitches for strikes and pitch from ahead instead of from behind.
Yeah, the ball strike count definitely starting to switch now as she's starting to get her radar. So far, there's only been one run as damage, but the bases are still loaded. New South Wales still searching for their first out. She's fouled that one off, not timing it up the top of the barrel. Another ball, counts full now, means everybody's running. Full count, bases loaded, none out. Queensland 1, New South Wales 0, bottom of the first.
Oh, thanks.
And it's a ball.
Yep. Walks in a run.
New South Wales now trailing by 2 in the first. And
that's it.
Yeah,
That's
the
it for
change has been made after 5 batters.
Sophie O'Connor, is it? Yep.
Yes. Yeah, you can't really afford to wait too long if your pitcher's not finding the zone or getting the calls. So get themselves out of trouble here, hopefully, and see how Connor can do.
Shout out to Claire Darrow watching us live. She's a big fan of the bunt that she saw. So I'm assuming she's following Queensland. If you're online, get involved. Tell us where you're watching from. Tell us who you're supporting in this super important game for the Joyce Leicester Shield, the Under-23 National Championship. It's a tournament that's got super important, especially considering the future Olympic programs in 2028, 2032. These players now, this is the future. These are the players that are going to be representing in 28 and 32 in those future Olympics in the US and Brisbane. So we've got a new pitcher on the mound, Ella Kovamata.
I've got Sophie O'Connor.
Sophie O'Connor.
Sophie O'Connor. No, the batter is Kovamata.
You said pitcher.
Oh, yeah, I said we've got a new pitcher. And
Pop up the second
okay.
base there. Nicely played by, is that Gordon at second base?
Yep. Thanks for saving us there, Bill.
No worries, 1 down. So effective right from the start with new pitcher coming in. Able to get that first out, that's going to help them out.
Yeah, you can just see in the Eastern replay, just out in front of that.
Yeah.
So Hanari, the left fielder. Good first pitch strike. This happened earlier today when we saw Queensland they fell behind Lee with Summers and they left the leash. They let her keep on going. New South Wales have gone the other way. They've hooked their starting pitcher real early. They had to make a change. Ground out, Hanari, back to the pitcher. Oh, the throw's wild as it's come off.
Score.
And multiple runs are going to score as the New South Wales first base had to come off the bag in line with the runner, and Queensland have made them pay hugely for the throw. We're going to see here on the Eastern replay in just a sec. Bill, talk us through it.
Well, it looks like a bit of a comebacker to the pitcher that she just gets enough of, actually. And then looked like she picked it up with her fingertips and tried to kind of shot put it over the first base instead of making a good proper throw.
This game has got shades of the first game, hasn't it? About
It's got shades of
innings.
shades of the grand final earlier this year between these two teams. So where Queensland jumped out early and then just went on with it and ended up winning the grand final in a mercy win 9-1 over New South Wales. So we're in the first here. Queensland have jumped out to a 4-0 lead.
They've really capitalized on a play that could have been the second out of the inning. And instead they scored 2 runs on it, and they only got 1 down. And that's
Conacher
a little pop
gets
up the shortstop.
Yeah, gets underneath it. That's only the second out of the innings, unbelievably, as Sorbello, who had to wait 3 innings in the first game to get her first at bat, this time round finds herself coming to the plate. Runners in scoring position at 2 and 3. Sorbello 2 out. Takes an early pitch, early strike. First at bat in the first game. She had to play a sacrifice bunt. She didn't get a lot of time to have a look. This time, going through the count, find her pitch, put the ball on the green and score some more runs for Queensland. O'Connor gets the ball low and in the dirt. Again, great catching by Trim as she continues to keep New South Wales runners at 2 and 3. She's got to be careful in regards to anything spilt. So Trim does a great, courageous job there of blocking that ball. Sorbello goes up, chasing the ball high as the first base for New South Wales, Caitlin Wild, comes over and takes a great catch, but the damage has been done. 4 big runs, 2 on an error, in a ground out back to the pitcher after a difficult start by Hart trying to get her radar. You can see Queensland smiles jumping around. Solomon reasonably fresh after only throwing a couple of innings in relief later in the first game. So top of the first, sorry, we're moving into the top of the second now. It's Queensland 4, New South Wales 0. Tell us what you see there, Bill. What do you think?
Well, with the wind blowing in like it is today, and it's that similar thing where any ball that's up, that's hit up, is just going to sit up there and be caught. Easy pop out. All the damage kind of came from balls that were hit hard on the ground and line drives.
Yep.
So as a pitcher, you want to locate that one up top and make them chase. As a batter, you want to wait till it comes down to make sure you hit something that's down around belt high.
Yeah, it's a great point. With the wind as it has picked up, Solomon, as I said, traditionally a down pitcher, so they're going to have to dig the ball to get underneath it. Summers is the opposite. She's the up batter, so the up pitcher, which would be funny in this type of wind. The field would be busy. Quick shout out to some of the great people watching us today. We've got some people in Queensland from Townsville. Hello to Tina. Deborah's out at Hamilton Island. Far out. Hamilton Island, how are you travelling? Beautiful. So plenty of Queensland people.
Need to go around the run after this. We weren't able to go around the defensive diamond for Queensland at the first inning there, but when we get a break, you can tell us who's
batters?
feeling where. Yeah, between
batters, that'd be great.
Super.
Evans goes bang out to centre field, and great catch taken by Nicole Conacher at centre field for Queensland. So New South Wales 4-0 down at the top of the second. They're not going to have an opportunity just to sort of graft into this game. It's time to attack and get after it. Still early, but a lot of work to do. Left fielder Oliver Moore.
Yep.
Change up, yeah. Out to right field. Judging it in the wind is Ella Kovomata.
I'll go around the defence for the Queensland side. Emily Solomon pitching to Matisse Sorbello. First base, Jessica Rowe. Second base, Harari Kurahara. Third base, Brooks Stewart. At shortstop, Soraya Hampson. Outfield left to right, Kiana Hanari, Nicole Conacher, and Ella Coville-Mater.
So, New South Wales 2 out just like that. Solomon well on top. Good mix.
2 very lazy fly balls. Nice outs.
Another strike thrown by Solomon, who looks dialed in, up and about here. Still early, but Queensland a great start and in control here. Couple of Walkerville legends on the tube. Russell Martin, Lisa Yannick, Kristen Barry. Hello to you, superstars. Great to have people from all around Australia joining us today for the prelim final of the Under-23 Joyce Lister Shield. She's gone over to shortstop. The impressive Hampson stays low and makes it look regulation as the second base Emily Gordon has grounded out for a 6-3, and Queensland have retired. New South Wales 1-2-3. So down by 4, bottom of the second. Bill, what's your message as a coach to your team to keep them in the frame?
Well, as far as New South Wales goes, O'Connor, since she's come in, she's spotting her strikes and she's going after them early, and that's probably the key. You really want to make them swing the bat and not give up any walks. You know, defensively, you just got to make the outs that are there on opportunity for you, and can't really get 3 out in one play, can you? So you just got to take them one at a time and get your bats going.
Lots of Queensland support on the line out there. So Allison and Carolyn. So, but there's some support there for New South Wales as well, as Christy also getting a shout out to her New South Wales team. So here we go, bottom of the second.
Top of the order.
Top of the order. Kurihara having a great tournament, playing lights out at second base for Queensland. She's leading off the team at 4-0 in the bottom of the second.
Bit low, ball 1. And I believe Harari had a base on balls last time up.
Yeah.
First time up.
She's the perfect leadoff when you consider she's got genuine wheels, reads the play super well, great eye for her zone. But she's, for a little player, she's got huge power. So you think she's just going to pick walks, but she can smash the ball to the fence with the drop of her hat.
Left-handed, close to the first base. You got it all going for her. That's
she's
right.
the prototype. And that one goes foul down the first base line. She just puts the infield under so much pressure because she's so quick. So
yeah, she's what I'd call a complete player.
Yeah,
isn't she? You know, you can't find any flaws with her.
And she's a big C-Max Premier League watcher, apparently, so James was telling us before. So we like her even more. Change up, falls high in the zone. Kurihara gets after it as she chases it up. But the right field for New South Wales, Emily Gordon, comes in and takes a well-judged catch. There's a swirling wind down here at West Beach here on the Eastern replay.
Harari fell for the trap then, wasn't it? It was set up there for her to put it in the air, and she didn't. She was out. Have you gone around the New South Wales defence yet? You have?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, you did?
Sienna Burgess, the right fielder on that one.
When you weren't here for the first 10 minutes, Leo, I wasn't sure if you were coming at all.
I was, shall I say, without being sensational, I was waiting for the teams to be put in.
Hi.
They were very late, Anthony, but thanks for bringing it up.
No, I appreciate that. I was trying to look them up on iScore on my phone, which is probably not ideal. Hansen stays off a up ball from O'Connor to take an early ball. Low and away, leveling the count at 1-1. Temperature starting to cool off here down at West Beach. It was reasonably warm this morning, not so breezy now, but now it's sort of picked up a bit. Good pitch by Connor. Queensland hit a lead. Hansen fouls that one off. You can see there's a definite change in pace here, Lee. This morning we were talking about Summers and just burning through their counts. O'Connor much more slow and making sure that everything that she pitches counts. Hansen drops her hands, and Brianna Evans there for the shallow fly catch to retire the second hitter.
So right away we got night and day between the top of the first, or the first inning, bottom of the first, and 2 walks to lead off, to 2 balls hit in the air and both outs for the top 2 batters. So O'Connor's doing the job at the moment.
That'll give New South Wales a bit of hope in that regard, that all of a sudden they've been able to stop the momentum.
Brooke Stewart, the third baseman, she laid down a fantastic bunt last time up.
Yes, nothing like seeing a power hitter put down a sacrifice bunt.
Yeah. Well, that's a team at bat, isn't it?
Absolutely, in a big way.
Number 3 batter to do that.
Change up, great pitch by O'Connor. Well called by Trim as Stewart swings over the top of that one as it breaks late at the plate. Just on the instant replay, you can just see the late break on that ball as it falls away. She repeats that. And the left-handed second base for New South Wales, Emily Gordon, does a good job of fielding that ball.
Queensland goes down in order, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Well, the game starts to settle in now.
So you can say when Queensland jumped up to a 4-run lead, it's one of those things you really want to keep that going, and hopefully don't just sit back. Luckily, New South Wales has stemmed that flow a bit. Now they need to respond, don't they?
Yeah, maybe they're thinking the pendulum is now starting to swing in their direction, because like, as you said, guys, 3 up, 3 down after going for 4 previously. It's a sign, and see the coaches talking here at New South Wales.
Yeah, you can see Coach Horton's doing a good job there of just bringing her team in. Obviously the messaging you would be top 3. She spoke last May about the team is obviously a pathway team for the 5 stars, but in this particular case, you just see she was very process orientated. She was always talking about the process, and that's what a lot of that conversation would be. A lot of her background in elite physical programs. Obviously, she spent some time in the Australian teams as well. So, you know, she'll be looking at the score and she won't be happy about it, but at the same stage, she'll still be backing her team in to get these runs back, as we've got the right field, Sienna Burgess, coming to the plate with a lead-off. She goes to show bunt. We see here on the Eastern replay, and Solomon athletically dives forward and takes one of the catches of the championship as she retires the New South Wales lead-off.
Yeah, I've watched a bit of Sienna Burgess. She is a bit of a lefty slapper, bunt play. She's very quick. She's able to also push bunt. Pushed it to second base one time for a safe hit, but that one there just got underneath. Great play, but
this is Amber Frost,
the shortstop.
And what a good player she is. We've mentioned this a few times, Stormy, that there's some terrific shortstops in this competition this week.
If you hear
and it's a tough place to play.
It's very tough. If you hear him say Stormy Bill, that's me. I'm Stormy Weathers, apparently.
Stormy Weathers, okay.
He'll have a nickname for you by the end of the game. Don't worry about that. Low in the dirt as Sorbello takes the ball in the dirt, does a good job blocking it, brings the count to 1-1. Up the middle, and New South Wales ball on the green means they've hit their first single as Frost, the number 9 hitter, shows them how it's done.
Yes, pitcher Solomon went down to get it, but no, it's a fair way down when you're a reasonable height, I would think.
Sandra from New South Wales is cheering on her team. Belinda and Melissa talking up Queensland. So
brings us back to the top of the order. Center fielder
Connell.
Melissa Connell.
Looks a strong player. Solomon throws a missile as Connell swings over the top of it to fall behind on the count. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, top of the 3rd.
Change up, ground ball up the middle. The 2,
wow.
Not in time for the double play.
That's great fielding by Queensland again. Hampson and Harari we saw in the earlier game, Chillingworth and Scott. Here we see on the Eastern replay, she's read that bounce super well and still had presence of mind to make the quick transition to Kurahari, who's made a great throw over to Rode, who's timed her jump off, but ball's a bit high, and that's dragged her off the line.
Yeah, the ball was just not hit hard enough to get to, but they made sure of the one at second base, which was a really good play, and then followed through the throw. You may as well.
Absolutely, go for it. Bringing to the plate the catcher, Kiara Trim. She goes inside out,
low pitch,
digging out a low pitch from Solomon, fouls it off down the right field line. Connell at first base, 2 out for New South Wales. Trim now fouls this one out, high on the handle down the third base line, hitting both sides, trying to stay alive in the count. She's right behind it.
Spray one to the right, spray one to the left.
Yeah.
One up the
One
middle
up
now.
the middle.
One up the middle.
It'll be due, you think, of the...
This one flies out to right field. Difficult ball
Basket catch.
for Kovalmatta, and she's made that look easy, which she has no right to, because that's a difficult catch.
It's a very swirly wind out there blowing across.
That's super well read.
So well.
We were talking about Bill. You introduced him, did you?
Yes, I've introduced the superstar coach, national championship winner, first time in 66 years, and we're going to have a chat to him. And what a great lead-in, Lee, if that was...
Yeah, but just before you do,
sure.
I think the two best things that have come out of Canada is Eric Bolner and Bill Benedictson.
Oh, that's too kind.
See if you can beat that.
Yeah, no, that is very good. We're going to have a chat, Lee, and we might want to sort of do it over the next innings or two. You can quiz him about the preparation of the SA Stars in relation to the defence of the Gillies Shield, which will be held January 2nd, January 6th.
Which is probably going to be harder, isn't it?
Yeah.
We anticipate it will be harder. We had a bit of a live hitting session this morning with the girls that weren't playing in this. You know, we've got 6 of the open women's playing in the 23s. So we had a bit of a session out here on Diamond 6 out behind, and that went really well. Girls are pitching well, girls are hitting well. Yeah, we're just waiting for this to wrap up, and hopefully SA can win it, and then we'll get back together and get focused on the open women's.
Yeah, well, this year seems to have been softball from day one, hasn't it?
It has,
really?
yeah.
We're in December, we're nearly at Christmas. Yeah, well, it was a fantastic effort, as we all know.
Oh wow, as Jessica Rode hits a hard ball down the third base line. Brianna Evans in the walls over there at third base. She's knocked it down, but not before it's allowed Rode to get on. Jessica Rode, that's where she hit the last one too. She's quietly, so she's got a thing for third base.
That one there, right through the wickets, as you can see. I think a little bit shell-shocked from the first time. But you're right, Jessica Rode really hits that ball hard.
Mackenzie Peebles, the DH. Bunt.
That's a good bunt.
One bounce over to the first base. Oh, didn't have control. Rhodes taking the opportunity to try and get to third, and the blue Wallace Yarrow calls her safe underneath the tag there.
Excellent base running.
And so what could have been an out here on the Eastern replay, the bunt just comes up high. You can see that Wild's come in, fielded it well, but the throw's just a little bit wide, and Gordon's gone up to get it, and she's lost control. But she's recovered it with presence of mind to throw over to Evans as Rode has gone round the extra base.
That's and very close at third base.
Yeah.
And there's a classic case of running it hard up the first base line.
Always keep going.
You never know what could happen.
Yeah, just turned her glove just in. It was like she was conscious of the other runner as she was already starting to turn in.
So the slide here, the ball beats her, but she does slide out and around.
Yeah.
Very close. It looked like she just got her knee in on the bag before she got tagged on the shoulder.
And so we find ourselves now here with Queensland in the bottom of the third with a 4-0 lead over New South Wales. Jessica Rhodes done her. No, she's still there. I thought she's just been replaced, but she's heading over to the bench. No, she's still in it.
Pitching change here.
Pitching change as well.
unfortunately, O'Connor are doing very well, but they've gone to Bennett now.
Yeah.
Chelsea
the
Bennett.
DP, Chelsea Bennett comes in the pitch.
Right. Runners at 1 and 3 for Queensland. And unfortunately for New South Wales, again, like the first, base runners, but none out.
Well, we've got a break in the play, Bill. How's your preparation going? You've spoken marginally about it. A different sort of mindset this year, knowing you coming in as the defending champions? For you?
Not really. Look, I mean, we're coming in as defending champions, but I still can't discount New South Wales as probably the team to beat. You know, they've got some returning players that are going to be tough.
Yes.
Some Olympians again coming back. So, you know, as much as we're defending champions, I think we got to treat them as the team that we got to work hard to beat. I don't think we're going to rest on our laurels at all.
No, I wouldn't have suggested that at all.
Yeah.
But yes, returning players make a difference, especially the quality.
Yes.
Koval shows Bunt, takes a ball, allows the runner as she shows Bunt, and then comes back to slap, but she's hit the ball right into her foot. That'll so Koval has at least advanced the runner. So Queensland now have 2 runners in scoring position with none out. On deck, Nicole Conacher, the centre fielder, and then the catcher, power hitter, Matisse Sorbello. Shows Barn, goes back to slap.
Tricky.
It's in the hold. Gordon's had to come down and get it. She makes the play as Rode, the speedy Jessica Rode, has charged down the third base line behind the catcher Trim and puts her foot on the plate for another run scored. So it's an RBI. What a great piece of base running by Jessica Rode. Great bunt as Queensland now extend their lead out to 5 with a runner at 3. That's a sacrifice for Koval. And another bunt as Kadari runs up the first line. They've got her in a rundown here. Evans running her back up the line. She's coming back the other way, and
obstruction.
Obstruction was called.
So
as we've had enough.
Now she may be sent back to third base. Obstruction called. The run scores.
Yeah.
Wow. As Queensland, we're going to go to the Eastern replay here and unpack that for us, Bill.
So it's a good fake, and then she turned and had her hung up. And then I'm just trying to see which player she actually made contact with, but it was right there.
Yep.
Evans, or is that Bennett? 53?
Yeah, it was Evans running back.
Evans. And she's just lucky enough to make the contact going back towards home, so awarded home.
Wow.
Did well to dance around that bunt.
Yeah,
too,
absolutely. That could have been
contact out of the box.
Yeah, you usually teach your runners, if it's anything like close, just grab a hold of them or fall into them. Yeah, just fall into them.
Yeah.
Don't make it look too obvious. I'm not saying that was, but
on this
I've seen it done before.
Just got her elbow out enough to get her in the back, and that was pretty smart.
Yeah.
Coach Horton's just come out to ask Blue about the obstruction call there at the moment.
In the meantime, the batter took second on that play while it was all happening, so smart base running there to get the next base they could. So that run scores.
Yeah, so it makes it 6 now, I reckon.
5-6, yeah.
Yeah, I've got 6. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it'd be 6 because one scored just before that, didn't it?
Yep, that's right. Yeah. Rhodey.
So 6-0.
Eagles.
And then we got Nicole Conacher.
Yep, the right fielder. Centre fielder, sorry.
Fielder, yep.
Centre fielder. So Queensland extend their lead to 6-0 here in the bottom of the third.
And none out.
None out. New South Wales onto their third pitcher.
A bit low, and there she's going.
And
Stolen base.
Wasn't there one out with the play from 4 to 3 from second base to first early? Second batter?
Yeah, that one there. Must be one out.
There is.
So we've got the speedy Hanari at third. We've got Conacher picking a well-placed walk. And now the power of Sorbello comes to the plate with runners at 1 and 3, 1 out. Queensland, bottom of the third, 6-0 over New South Wales. Getting some feedback on the line too about some of our online viewers are enjoying our calling of Jessica Road, or Roadie, as apparently we've been calling her. Our apologies, Claire. We'll clean it up.
Have you called her Roadie?
No. Me or Lee.
Oh, okay.
No. I've been calling her Road all the time until today.
Oh, there you go. That's me then. It's me.
But James calls her Roadie.
Yeah.
And he's not here.
He's not here.
Jessica,
all right.
I'll apologise on behalf of the entire community.
2 speedy runners here with a 1-3 split.
1 out.
Yeah, 1 out. It's going.
Yeah.
And they're going to let her go with a bit of a pick throw down the 3 just to keep her honest.
Yeah, third base is a tricky place to play for those situations because you don't want to get back too far in case they put the ball on the deck. But you need to be in a position to make a tag before she gets to the base.
Sorbello chases, good pitch on the outside.
We haven't seen her building the ball in the last day and a half, which is unusual for her.
Yeah.
See her try a running bunt there.
Yeah, she had a couple of running. Yeah, she's had a couple of team bats where she's had roles to do. So this is probably her first genuine opportunity to pick up some RBIs for the stats. Wow, she gets underneath it, but it's gone high. And the shortstop for New South Wales,
calls off
Frost, comes in.
Captain of the dirt area, isn't she, the shortstop?
Well, we saw Solomon in that earlier game too. When the ball got hit up, she didn't move from the pitching circle and just let the fielders come in.
Yeah.
New South Wales fighting hard here. They're 2-0, 2 out, as the top of the lineup for Queensland, Harari Kurahara, has come back to the top of the line. And she's keeping the pressure on with a great shot, bouncing it over the top of the pitcher, bats in an RBI, gets herself on, and Queensland 7-0 in the third.
Is this the same side from Queensland that we saw this morning, a couple of hours ago?
No, there's been a cup of coffee handed out between games. They're up and about in a big way. This is, as I said before, this is shades of the grand final last year.
Yeah.
Queensland just jumped all over New South Wales and just didn't let them off the hook.
Well, Kurahara, like you said, a lot of weapons up her sleeve, and that little bouncer just over the pitcher off the glove. Perfect to get on board, keep the inning going, score the run.
Yep.
And they've also moved another runner over to third base. So
she's so difficult to defend, isn't she? You know, pitching-wise, infield-wise, outfield. Do you play deep or do you play short? She can pull the ball hard.
Hampson, the shortstop,
fell back.
Hands out in front of that one as she fouls it off.
Switched over to the right side of the plate this time. As you said, you alluded she was a switch hitter.
Yeah.
And we've only seen her from the left the first 2 times up.
Keeping them working hard.
Keeping them honest.
Two. Up, going. They're going to let her go.
Yep. Percentage play there.
Yeah. Again, another speedy runner on 3, so.
And when you're the catcher, you can usually tell whether the runner's going all the way through or whether she's trying to draw a play to score this person at third.
It's popped up, back our way.
Trim gets underneath it, takes a great catch against the fence in the swirling wind. A very important out because there were runners on, but Queensland continue to do damage as they've extended the lead here on the Eastern replay. We can just see Trim having to go back to the fence with that ball swirling, taking a great catch. But they've extended their lead out to 7-0 as we go into the top of the 4th.
Trim, well taught and terrific, wasn't she?
Even on a Sunday. Lots of support online for Queensland. They're up and about. Claire's forgiven me as long as I say Rodie. So couple of South Australian legends, Dale and Hood, online checking out the action here at Spacequake Sports. The Under-23 National Championship Joyce Leicester Shield coming to you from West Beach, South Australia on beautiful Ghana land. We're in the top of the 4th. New South Wales about to bat, trailing the Queensland team who lost the semi-final earlier this morning against South Australia 8-0. They've gone through to the final. They're awaiting the winner of this game. Currently Queensland 7, New South Wales 0. Top 4. The lead-off here is...
first base. Caitlin Wild.
Caitlin Wild.
Then the DP, Chelsea Bennett. Well, no, she's not the DP anymore. She's out in the middle.
So this is the meat of the order. This is the very strong hitting part of the order that I've seen New South Wales all this week.
The engine room, you might call
the engine room.
Well, they've had a couple of games where they've been behind and they've had to come, like even the game earlier this morning, Lee, when we were watching the Queensland SA game, Victoria jumped out and then New South Wales had to run them down. But Solomon at the moment, she's in control, working well with Sorbello. We've seen the defensive shift here on for Queensland. They've got a second base fielding at shortstop. They've got a shortstop fielding at short third, and they've got a third base. As they're expecting Wild, you would expect to maybe pull the ball left. Is that the thought?
And it's much easier pitching when you've got 7 in the bank behind you.
Yes.
Surely.
Yeah, they ran the defensive shift in the first inning, so... And great pitching by Solomon as she picks it up. Lee, you've got one of your fans online just wanting to know how the Fritz sandwich was. They'd like one up there in Queensland if you'd be so kind. Tracy wants to know your recipe.
Tracy who?
Tracy Wright.
Oh, yes. Hi, Tracy. There's no recipe, and no, you're not going to share it.
Chelsea Bennett into bat now. As you say, she's into pitch. I think Solomon is really working the up and down ball quite well.
Yeah, it's a good mix.
As we say, if we can get them they can get them to swing at the high ones and pop up, it makes their job easy.
I'll tell you who'll be liking this at the moment. That's the South Australian Under-23 coach, Ben Lucas. He'd be loving Solomon to pitch as much as she possibly can right now. Get as much kilometres on they can.
How long does she go, in your opinion, gentlemen?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a very good question, Bill. I mean, that's a great question. You're the genius here amongst the three of us. So, I mean, not that Lee hasn't coached anybody in South Australia. I don't think there's anybody he hasn't coached. But when do you hook your number one when you're 7-0 up in the prelim?
Yeah, well, 7-0 up, you remember, it's a long game, but we are in the 4th inning. I think you probably go one more inning here. If they can get through this inning and not give up any, then you might turn it over.
Yeah.
Bennett made a good adjustment there. Actually went after the high ball, but actually stayed flat and hit a hard line shot to second base there, but handled very nicely by Harari.
Third base, Brianna Evans. She's gone over the top of shortstop, third base, Brooke Stewart. It's gone all the way out to left field. Hanari's first play of the game as New South Wales show some fight. Again, they do it the hard way at 2 out, but they're fighting.
Hanari did a great job to get around this because that's right down the line and kicking away, and you think that's
like
a double.
Yeah, for sure.
And she's got to come up right about the same time as she stepped on first base. So
the air attack, Zali Summers for Queensland down in the bullpen, starting to warm up. So you would suggest that the change is imminent.
Yeah, and if things go awry with the new pitcher, you can always bring back Emily.
Olivia Moore into bat now, left field.
Sorbello trying to pick off the New South Wales runner here at 2 out.
It's a little bleeder up the middle.
And it's fallen in. So New South Wales, could this be the momentum shift that they're talking about? Coach Horton very much about getting the processes right. They've stuck to their task. Gordon, the second base left-hander, batting right, comes to the plate. She's got runners at 1 and 2. It's 2 out. We're in the top of the 4th. trailing by 7.
I've got one out, but I must have missed somebody.
Two down. It's the unfortunate bit is they're starting to string their hits together, but they are 2 out. So unless they keep this 2-out rally going.
Yes, it is. Yeah, correction.
It'd be interesting to see Summers come into this game with that devastating up ball of hers.
Yep. Because
that's going to be tricky for the field.
And that's
Gordon out in front of it, doesn't get all of it, but the ball swirling around as Brooke Stewart has tried her very best as that ball looked like it was going to be behind shortstop, and the winds picked it up and brought it all the way back to third base. As we see here on the Eastern replay how hard that was.
Yeah, the moment that ball was hit, the wind did pick up like another 10K an hour, and she looked like, you said, it looked like it was going to shortstop all the way. Shortstop thought she had it, and I think third base was actually looking at her, and then suddenly it was landing in her lap. So
she goes again. This time she's grounded out to the shortstop, who has Hansen, who's come in on a ball bouncing to her. It's come off her glove. And New South Wales, for the first time, putting Queensland under some genuine pressure as the bases are loaded, as we see here the Eastern replay.
She just looks like she gets a little distracted by the runner, and almost had in her head like she was going to flip it to 3 because her body language was showing she was going towards that base instead of throwing across to 1. Didn't field it cleanly, and now we got 2-out trouble, don't we, with bases loaded. And
lots and lots of great feedback online, lots of support for Queensland, lots of support for New South Wales, lots of South Australians watching it, just like the baseball, softball superstar Jessica Maslin's checking us out on the tube, and there's been a change.
Yes,
Amelia Cousins is coming to hit for
Sienna Burgess. Yep.
Sienna Burgess was the lefty.
Coach Horton ringing the changes.
Trying to make...
trying to keep the pressure on.
Make hay when the sun shines now, if they can.
Well, they're going to need to, because in the top of the 4th, if Queensland don't put any more runs on the board, they're only 3 outs away from being knocked out of the tournament. Bang, in the 6-5 hold. What a great piece of the ball. Hanari comes running in, but the throw from Hanari lights out to Sorbello. Didn't stand a chance, but an important run scored with a great pinch hit selection by Coach Horton has come in. And
two excellent plays by the left fielder then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
First one cutting the double down to a single, and now that throw in.
Yeah, look at that throw. Yep, you got no chance. Hanari has just saved a run in a national championship preliminary final. Great fielding by the Queensland unit.
As we're talking that wind coming in from the east, that gives that left fielder an extra rocket arm throwing home, and that ball is there well in time.
Candice out there watching in Kansas, supporting Queensland. Thanks for watching. You'd be happy with what you're seeing here if you're a Queensland supporter, but you'd be just as happy from a New South Wales perspective seeing some fight that innings. They loaded up, the bats are starting to go. The question mark is, how long does Solomon go now? Do we see a change coming at the start of the next innings? Who knows, but at the moment, the important run scored by New South Wales, taking it out of a mercy opportunity as we now move 7-1 as we go into the bottom of the 5th. But Queensland high up in their lineup, as you can see, the third base, Brooke Stewart, will be leading us off.
It was a tough call by that base coach, sender or not sender. I mean, you think on a single like that with 2 out, you should score, but you know, if you hold her up there and you keep the inning going, you never know what's going to happen after that. But
we can't stress it enough. It's so important here.
Yeah,
we've got another change coming from New South Wales. What do you got for us, Lee?
Let me have a look here. 13 comes out. Emily Gordon replaced at that position of second base by number 48, who is Abby Morris.
Right, so here we go. Can't stress it enough. New South Wales need to keep Queensland scoreless here to try and continue to build on this momentum and fight back. to try and get to the National Championship final for the Joyce Lester Shield. High pitch kicking, Stewart stays off of it. Rick Bill spot on. That is a great throw by left field. A lot of kikis here, so I'm assuming that Hanari's got a nickname that we don't know about, but a lot of love for the fielding that she's done out there at left field, saving a big run. Stewart goes ahead in the count, 2 balls. Green light here, Bill?
Yes.
She takes it and goes bang, right up the middle. Hard line drive fly out to the centre fielder, Alyssa Connell, the leadoff for New South Wales. Good piece of the ball, though.
Yeah, she swung well. It looked like she's just swinging for the base hit, and it just carried, didn't it? It just kept going. Well played out there at centre.
Well, in this type of wind, that line drive is about the only thing that's genuinely fieldable. Anything that goes higher than that, above the fence, it's swirling around, as we saw. And now I get to practice my naming. Are you ready, Lee?
I'm ready as I'll ever be, sir.
Jessica Rowe D goes bang, high out to centre right, and the right fielder for New South Wales, Sienna Burgess, has come along and taken a good catch. I hope I got that name right, Claire.
Well, Anthony, full credit to you. Rowe D, I thought you was in the movies for a minute. And you were doing your usherette stuff, which you used to do.
Practicing it on the fly, but this is exactly the innings that New South Wales wanted. They've picked up 2 cheap outs here as Peebles now, the designated hitter, comes to the plate. Low in the dirt. They can get out of this innings now. They come back into their lineup with some momentum. We're thinking there's probably a pitching change imminent with the air attack of summer from Queensland.
Oh! Elbow, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It looked like the point of the elbow.
That's not going to feel great. Nothing funny about that. Sorry, Lee, I know you do the comedy, but I've beaten you to it.
Well, that's 1 out of 38.
He's not lying. All right, so Peebles gets on with a hit by pitch.
1 out of 39.
Oh, yeah. Koval Matter, the right fielder, has come up with 2 out. Takes a strike on the outside.
Good pitch, wasn't it? Good pitch.
Yeah, just a medium pace there, not trying to overpower, just start that first
Tempting.
one.
Throw it up and see, throw it out there and see what she does.
One of your South Australian superstars checking out the game here. Coach Benedictson, Lana Kaisler.
Is she in the building?
She's not in the building, she's watching it online.
Oh, okay.
She's been out there and marked her centre right field patch over there, which Sarah Tonkin left field. We've got centre right, Lana Kaisler field. Looking forward to the Gillies Shield starting January 2nd here at West Beach on Ghana land, South Australia. As bang, she's gone down the right side, but it's gone foul.
That's foul.
Talking about catches and those people, what about in the Gillies Shield grand final, Sarah Tonkin, those 2 amazing catches. Hello, I saw them both. I still can't believe it.
They still bring goosebumps every time I see them.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, anybody watching the Stars, you know, you see her at left field, you come down and watch her in the CMAX Premier League, and
catches.
she's a lights-out catcher for the Falcons. So,
yeah. Look, I know the one late in the game on Titsacronis was a big one, but I think the one against McManus going back was probably set the tone earlier in the game. That could have let the game get away from us early. And
she's such a legend here that she's even got her own drinks range in Bar 66.
Oh,
so here we go. Runner at first for Queensland.
Yes, that catch you were talking about off of Taylor, and what a good player to get it off, because there's somebody who can hit the ball.
Absolutely.
And she was running back over her shoulder. She caught it.
Titsacronis had hit a homer earlier in the game, and that was what I like to call not a cheap out, but whenever you can take a pop up in foul territory, you don't even let them.
Matter gets underneath the ball, well out in front, as Evans showing how difficult it is to take a fly ball here at the moment with the wind swirling. Takes a very important out as Queensland are retired by the New South Wales defence. Thankfully for them, no extra runners added, and so they can now start to try and buy into this lead, as you just see Evans take that catch on the Eastern replay.
She did well there. She kept her feet moving instead of thinking it's, here it is, but she still had to run about 7 to 8 meters before she finally caught that.
Yeah. And the main thing you need to do there is use your voice, because there's 3 people hovering. Somebody needs to be stronger with their voice, and then the others just stay back, or just wait if it comes off the glove and maybe make a catch from that.
Well, we think that I was thinking that there might be a pitching change imminent, but they've stuck with the gun that is Solomon, who's to this point kept New South Wales to 1. The Red Sox Softball Club in Queensland shouting out their players: Emily Solomon, Soraya Hampson, Hannah Leggett and Cyrene Letsitsa. Shout out to the Red Sox softball players representing the Queensland in the under-23s. Your team currently 7-1 in the top of the 5th. Solomon pitching to Frost.
It is Amber Frost,
number 9, who picked herself up a hit to centre field that got New South Wales started. Can she do it again inside as the count goes to 1-1?
Yes, New South Wales really have to get something going here, you'd hope, and start putting the ball in play. Get to Emily here. But
well, she's definitely, if we don't have the gun on her at the moment as far as the speed goes, but you can definitely tell to the eye she's starting to slow down a little bit. She's throwing more control. There's more off pace and change ups in hers. As bang, Frost goes 2 for 2
and gets past her
and gets past the right fielder Koval Matter out at right field, and the wheels as Coach Horton has called her all the way to 3rd. As Frost screams out at her bench, let's go, as New South Wales start the fight back as they come back to the top of the line here on the Eastern replay. Great piece of the ball by Amber Frost, the shortstop.
Well, it was a hard hit ball all the way. It was a single, and then right field just overran it. And geez, she's a fast runner. There's no way she's going to get her.
Alyssa Connell, the center fielder, leading off.
That's a dream start for New South. They really need to get it going, so hopefully we'll see what Alyssa can do.
Well, when you're chasing 6 in a national championship prelim final, I don't think you're going to be able to engineer too much. You're going to rely on some good batting as Connell swings hard as that ball hits the right field fence with some speed.
Well, Frost has set the standard, hasn't she, here for this innings. Come with me, she said, I'll get a hit, a triple, great shot. She was excited, and rightly so. Now it's up to the teammates. Support her.
We did mention last inning that we thought that would be the last from Solomon. I really thought she would be a change this inning, but they've gone with her, and now we've got a couple of hits. So
that makes it 40-1 now.
See what happens now.
Oh, great breaking pitch there, off pace by Solomon, as Sorbello continues to call and get the best out of her Queensland pitchers. Coach Benedictson's got some fans himself. Terry Marlowe from Maple Ridge, Canada. Shout out to the Canadians.
I'll respond to that one with hi, Mum. Good to have you watching.
He can do it all, Coach Benedictson. Solomon doing it all for Queensland at the moment, as she has got her team 7-1 up in the 5th. Ground out. Shortstop comes charging in. Hampson makes the play, gets the important second out, as the quality start by Frost, the number 9, has got her all the way to 3rd base with her great shot. But since then, Connell and Trim have been retired, and New South Wales have been unable to add to the score.
Emily's come back after giving up that, Solomon's after giving that hit to Amber. She's come back with 2 quick outs.
Yes.
Now they got Caitlin Wild coming up, first base, and she's a power hitter. And they're just having a little bit of a talk about how they're going to go about her. I imagine her strike zone might be a little bit big here now. But if they pass her up, they've got Bennett on deck, and she's also a power hitter. So
yeah, they're in the heart of their line. This is New South Wales' shot. This is it. It's nothing after this as far as they've got to make everything count. They're in the right where they need to be in their lineup to put the pressure back. Just need to string those back-to-back hits together. But Solomon just doing the job for Queensland as she has all week. Inside, Paul drowned it out over to shortstop with the defensive shift, and Queensland again pick up Caitlin Wild again. Another ground out to short, and the momentum has stopped.
Well, that'll be very disappointing for Amber, and rightly so. Comes up with a beautiful shot for a triple. And left it third.
The last innings was super positive, then Frost leads off the fifth with a triple, and then unfortunately the top of the order go down 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be a tough way back here for New South, but they've got to stay in the fight. They've been doing it all week with these late games where they've been able to push back. Bit of conversations happening over there at Queensland, talking about their pitching staff about, does she go one more? The reality is Queensland likely to try and engineer just a single run here, because a single run will make it a walk-off and they can get an early rest for the late game, which just happens to be a national championship grand final against home team South Australia, waiting in the wings after their 8-0 win this morning against Queensland to get direct path through to the Joyce Lester Shield.
yeah, that would be crucial if they could get a run here and finish it early, give themselves a rest.
So we find ourselves bottom of the fifth. It's Kiki Hanari, the left field. Like I've just added the
Kiki?
Yeah, that I've added it in there. I hope I've done that right. Who would have thought I might get some negative feedback, but I'll do my best.
40-2. Very good.
Here we go. The left fielder having a good day, not only in the field, but with the bat.
In the middle, we still got Chelsea Bennett throwing. She's done well since she's come in.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that I think that's the good thing that New South Wales, they've recognised the pitching changes that they've needed to make. They just haven't had the string of hits together, whereas Queensland have been able to do that, but more as well when they've had the opportunities to make something of an error that's come out of the field, they've made it.
Yes.
So, and that's what these finals are about, making the most of your opportunities. Goes high and over the catcher trim. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bottom of the fifth, Queensland 7, chasing 1 to put this game away for the walk-off. New South Wales can't afford to give up any more runs to have another shot in the 6th. Hard shot down the third base line of Brianna Evans, comes off the glove and goes all the way out to left field, where Olivia Moore has retrieved the ball, but not before Kiki Hanara has run around to second base with some great wheels, and Queensland just continue to pile the pressure on the New South Wales defense with just hard hitting.
Third base has been peppered down there today. Three hard shots.
Yeah,
First one very hard, second one to her legs, and then that one there just kind of tailed a little bit before it got to her.
You have your wits about you playing in that position, don't you, at the highest level, because they come hard.
Great heads-up base running too. She turned and she saw where that ball was, and she was long gone. So Coach Horton out there again with the New South Wales infield. It's you can see that the Queensland coach, he's run a full set of signals there for Conacher. So, as I said, Queensland not chasing a huge amount of runs at this point. They're just looking for 1. 1 gets them an early rest, which they will need on day 5 of a national championship.
Almost practice at extra innings now to do the job. None out.
Conacher lays down the bunt. Wild comes over, makes the throw count as New South Wales defence fields shallow to defend the short ball. But Lee Hull would be happy with that, as Mr. Terrific loves nothing better than a sacrifice bunt.
Well, it did the job, didn't it? Now she's closer, 1 base closer to for the walk-off.
It's a great sacrifice. You know, she's bunted it to the pitcher first base side, so there's no chance that somebody's going to wheel around, make a throw to 3.
And
with 1 out, they got
looking at a change here by the look of it for Queensland, as the power hitter Sorbello looks like she's going to be passed over for. What have you got for us, Lee?
I've got Leggett in for Sorbello.
So wow. So you can see what Queensland are doing here. You know what's coming. It'll be interesting to see how the New South Wales defence plays this, but Leggett has genuine speed. So with 1 out and the ability to sacrifice the hitter, your a bunt short play looks likely. You can already see the New South Wales defence fielding very shallow.
Calling a walk-off squeeze here. Right?
Yeah, walk-off squeeze is on the cards.
New South have just got to fill the bases up here.
Leggett takes a high pitch.
And this is where, as a coach, against this, I would give her the intentional walk and then walk the next one to make it bases later. It doesn't matter, it's only 1 run. You've got to prevent that happening.
You make a good point, but it does bring up Soraya Hampson.
But we thought Sorbello was coming up too, but she didn't.
So Leggett looking just to put the ball in play. She takes a strike. The first one was high. This one was outside.
You see where I'm coming from, Bill? Just put them up, fill the bases up.
So Evans,
ball, it's still the same result.
Evans and Wild are past the circle. Frost, Morris are down inside the line. Leggett throws her hands at it and looked like she'd fouled that off.
Fell back.
Yeah, did. If that goes out foul in left field's area, just let it drop.
Yeah, all the outfielder in shallow. Queensland just looking to put the ball in play here. Hanari taking a big jump off the line. She's gone. It's shallow. It's shallow. She's tagging it off. And wow, what a great throw by the centre fielder, Alyssa Connell, because Hanari had jumped. She'd gone back to tag. You'll see it on the Eastern replay.
It's a long way down the line. You're right. She had to run back hard.
But it was the throw from Connell that was lights out.
You can't afford to let this batter bat here.
So the coach, Mr. Terrific Lee Hole, wants Carrera passed up.
Yeah, I do.
But it's not going to happen. They're gonna have a go at it. Last time she hit over the top of the pitcher with a slap shot. This time the ball has hit the back net on a wild pitch. Nobody wants to see a prelim final finish that way as Bennett hustles in.
Queensland coach at third was down on his knees thinking, oh, I don't think he just got away, got a bad kick off the fence. There it was. I'd still walk her, can't afford to let her hit that ball or put the ball on the deck.
Low as
she had a single at the middle last
night. Kahara, she bounced that ball over the top of the pitcher. Two balls, they might be doing what you want, Lee, just doing it very, very carefully, just pitching around her, not letting her throw her hands at anything. As she goes after that one over the plate, just drops her hands away and it fouls off to the left field side. Queensland 7, New South Wales 1. We're in the bottom of the 5th. It's now 2 out, but the walk-off run, winning run, Harari is at third base. The lead-off for Queensland, Kurihara at the plate. And
you know what happened then? She brushed the fly away and the umpire called a legal pitch.
Oh, wow.
My goodness.
That's a shame.
Wow.
What a way to go off.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Here, I didn't actually see it happen.
I didn't see it happen either. Or anyway, so on the illegal pitch by the New South Wales pitcher, she's
she had to break her hands.
She's breaking her hands, and Damien McCauley, well spotted, has called it, and Harari
was obviously a fly there. That's why she waved her glove at it.
The runner has scored. So let's quickly review. We've only got a couple of seconds, but Queensland, after being mercied in the first game, have turned around and mercied New South Wales in the prelim final. Today, coming up at, we don't have an exact time, I believe 3 o'clock was what I heard. It's normally around about 30 minutes at the completion of the grand final, because you've also got the announcements to come. So the Eastern replay just showing what's happened there with the ball. So Queensland run out winners, 8, New South Wales 1. Queensland go through. They now defend their national championship against the home state South Australia in what will be an epic contest later today, Lee. Bill Benedictson, thank you so much for your time and giving it up. We look forward to seeing you January 2nd with the Stars defending the South Australia's first national championship in 66 years. We wish you all the best. You're a legend. And Mr.
Space Quake Sports are covering all games.
Every game of the Gilly Shields, 1 and 2. We're going to be.
So get yourself a nice shave, sir, and nice haircut.
If you don't like our voices, we apologise, because you're going to hear a lot of it in the first week of January. So prelim final done. Queensland through. SA await. We will see you hopefully in about half an hour's time for the national championship. 3 o'clock, we believe. So if you've got an opportunity, I believe there's a social media post about getting down to the game. I believe the gates are going to be open. Come down and see hopefully some history being made for South Australia, or maybe some history for Queensland defending. We'll see you later on.